Greetings humans, Spinning Mantis here with a special Overwatch video. What we're going to do here is we're going to go over some team comp builds for Season 3 and into Quarter 1 of 2017. Now everyone kind of knows that the triple tank meta is what's going on out there. It's necessitated basically with an Ana who can put down a grenade that basically heals a whole bunch of tanks who are clustered up to fall. But I'm going to go through each game mode and make my suggestions on what the ideal team composition is. We're going to start with King of the Hill, aka Control Point. Every team is going to start pretty much with Lucio, so our two healers are going to be Lucio and Ana. Lucio can give the speed boost and the AoE heal. Ana's grenade can heal the big tanks that are going to be the basis of this team. Then we're going to have a Reinhardt, a d.va, and a Roadhog. This is important. King of the Hill, you need people on the point. You need people who can absorb damage. You need people who can last through the fight. I liked running 3 tanks on King of the Hill before triple tank meta was a thing. King of the Hill is a mode where you can't have wimpy characters who kind of hide out in the corner. You need people who can get on the point. So we've got Lucio, Ana, Reinhardt, d.va, and Roadhog. And then to round it out, we have Mei. Mei is incredible on King of the Hill. She can zone out the entire other team. She can get a complete team kill. She can basically help you capture or defend the point all by herself. With her walls, she can mess up the flow of how people are trying to fill into the point. She can block off complete accesses. She is great for King of the Hill. You'll notice there's no DPS character on there. That is fine. It's more about holding the point, positioning, breaking the other team up. And with that healing and those tanks, there should not be any way that the other team is going to be able to get you off the point once you're on there. It's also good for comboing ults. Roadhog can get your picks from people who are trying to flank. And you guys should be good holding the point with that team composition of Lucio, Ana, Reinhardt, d.va, Roadhog, and Mei. If you really want, you can switch out the Roadhog with a Zarya or a Winston if they're really good. But really, that's it. That's the composition that you want for King of the Hill. Believe me, it will work most of the time. You have to be flexible on counter, but that is a super solid team for King of the Hill. Next is for straight up attack when you're attacking point A and B. Again, we've got Lucio. Now here, rather than Ana, Zenyatta can be good because it helps you push. His Transcendence is amazing for taking points, so I am going to actually suggest Zenyatta here, but Ana again can slot in fine because again it's a triple tank. It's Reinhardt, d.va, and instead of Roadhog this time, it's Zarya for her point presence and for her ultimate. And then as the 6th character on attack, we have Mei. Again, there's no soldier. You may ask why. I think you gotta have the Mei. Point B is so tough to take on most of the maps. Mei can go ahead and just with one of her normal abilities, a wall, keep the other team from getting back on the point in time. Same with her ult. It can zone the other team out and win the game for you. Mei wins games on attack. Basically, if you're banging your head against a wall, you're like, oh, why can't we get the 2nd point? Why can't we? It's because you don't have a Mei. You need a Mei to capture point B. So for attack, my suggestion is Lucio and Zenyatta, although of course Zenyatta can be switched for Ana, Reinhardt, d.va, and Zarya. And again, you could switch the Zarya for a Roadhog, but you do want a Mei for attack. I also want her on defense too. So for defense, when you're defending point A and B, we've got Lucio, Ana, Reinhardt, Zarya, Roadhog, who can hopefully get some picks, and again we've got Mei. Now on this one, I think you're a bit more flexible. I would say you can drop one of the tanks for a soldier there, drop one of the tanks for a Symmetra there, Basically, you still want a Mei though. Mei messes up attacks. Mei zones out the other team. The other team gets 5 people on the point, and she gets her ult off. It saves the game. So on defense, we've got Lucio, Ana, Reinhardt, Zarya, Roadhog, and Mei. But in that situation, you could switch that Roadhog for something like a soldier. Then on Payload, now this one's fun. You need a good Lucio for it, but I'm only going to have one healer on there. You know why? Because the payload heals you. And unless the team is going all over the map like idiots, if they're, DPS characters and they're getting killed and they're getting picked and they're nowhere near the team isn't going to win anyway. It's fine. D.va can take care of herself. She can go and harass and then fly back for heals. But on Payload, I'm going to say go one healer. Go Lucio, Reinhardt, Zarya, D.va, and then Soldier and Mei. Again, I've told you a million times why Mei is great, but here's a way. You only really need one healer on Payload. You sort of keep within sight of the payload, and you're getting a passive heal from both Lucio and the payload. Then you've got a soldier who can situationally put it down for a little bit of extra healing. He's an okay backup healer. If soldier knows what he's doing, he can be a decent backup healer. So that is my suggestion for payload. Lucio, soldier, Reinhardt, Zarya, D.va, and Mei. Although, if you really want, you could switch the soldier or the Mei for a backup healer. I do like Mei on attack payload a lot for the same reason. On that final push at the very end, you can lock people up in the spawn and it wins games. Mei wins games at the end of payload, just flat out. And then on payload defense, is one of the few ones that we don't have Lucio. It's the only one we don't have Lucio. We've got Ana and Zenyatta, Reinhardt, Zarya, Roadhog, and Soldier. So that's the only team I don't have Lucio on. It's the only team I don't have Mei on. Getting a little bit more DPS, don't need quite as much utility. But anyway, as you can see, there's 3 tanks in all of these lineups. There's 2 healers in almost all of these lineups, and Mei is in almost all of these lineups. There is a little bit of swapping you could do that I suggest, but honest to God, this is the best way to go. And if you watch top level gameplay of people who are in Masters and Grandmasters, you really do see these team compositions most of the time. 3 tanks with a Reinhardt, a D.va, and a Roadhog most often, sometimes a Zarya. 2 healers being an Ana and a Lucio all the time. So right there, that is 5 of the 6 spots filled up with these same characters. And then the final spot usually does go to a soldier, but that's the spot basically whoever your team has that can carry. The spot that I'm saying is great for Mei. If you've got a Genji who can carry hard, if you've got a McCree who can carry hard, but not someone who's average, Mei has much more utility. Get a Mei who can carry hard. But anyway, that is what I think are good team compositions. Now, if you're going into solo queue and you lock into a team that already has 2 DPSs, do not lock into DPS. Go ahead and watch a game on Twitch. Watch someone like Moon or Tim the Tatman or someone who is over 4K rating, and see if you ever see that garbage. I'm not saying it could never work, but you're just trolling and being a bad person if you are solo queuing for competitive and insisting on locking on DPS or Hanzo or Widowmaker when the team has no tank and no healer. It doesn't matter that you prefer to play DPS. You need to learn another role. At least learn a tank. Learn Zarya. You want to do damage? Learn Zarya. If you want to do damage, learn Zenyatta. If you want to do damage, learn Ana. Be useful to your team. Don't be that person who locks in the 4th or 5th DPS or locks in the 3rd sniper or something like that. Look at what the suggested team compositions are. If you want to win, if you want to win, if you don't want to win, you shouldn't be playing competitive. Stick to no limits, stick to quick play or something like that. If you're interested in trolling, just realize that that's going to bring bad karma on you if you're going out there just to ruin other people's times, make them get losses, make their rating go down just because you refuse to learn a second role and you refuse to try to form sensible team compositions. Because if you watch good teams play, they don't have 4 DPS, they don't have a Widowmaker and a Hanzo and an Ana and a Tracer and a Sombra. It's absolute garbage. You need to be flexible and, you know what, be the bigger person. If you really want to be DPS, but there already are 2 DPSs locked in, be the bigger person and play a different role. Be useful to your team. And if you're not good at other characters yet, learn one. You can't just stick with one character and just stay with that, because if you're going to be facing up against teams that are using comps like the ones I'm suggesting, you are not going to do well. You're really not going to do well against 3 tanks and 2 healers if you're picking stupid team compositions, if you're insisting on being Tracer when the team already has a Sombra, a McCree, and a Reaper. Don't ensure that your team loses by being that person. So listen to what the suggested team comps are, pick smart, learn multiple roles, and try to get your teams to play reasonable comps. Have them, there's something out there called the internet. Have them look up the triple tank meta. It is a real thing, and it will stomp you if you are not aware and you aren't picking good team comps. Anyway, I hope that this was somewhat useful for Season 3 and Quarter 1 of 2017. This should apply to both Xbox One, PC, as well as PS4, because I'm not really talking about any characters that are different from one platform to another. If you enjoy Overwatch and would like to see more, really appreciate it when you like the videos that you watch. Subscribe to the channel. And I do hope you check out my other Overwatch videos. That is going to be all for now. Spinning Mantis out. Namaste.